And we are live on the double secret multiracial white supremacy channel, which is my new channel. I'm starting like 20 minutes earlier than I said I would to everyone on Twitter because I realized, holy crap, it's like 11:30 and I'm drinking and I gotta go to work tomorrow. But it doesn't make a difference. Like properly, like a good dinner, like the leftovers are sometimes better than the original, right? You know, like if you make sausage, peppers, and onions and you let it sit overnight in the fridge and then you reheat it the next day, what you let those flavors sit up overnight, that makes a much better dish. So maybe not everyone's going to see this, or anyone even is going to see this. This channel is, I think, 5 subscribers at this point. So a lot of people from the old channel not here, and I don't know how to contact them. Essentially, the old channel got a second channel strike, supposedly for me talking about a medical issue. Although I've heard other people say things as bad or worse than I said, and they did not get struck. I personally believe that my channel was somebody dropped a dime on me. I believe that person being Donald Robertson, primarily because I exposed Donald Robertson as a wannabe Shabbos goy. And I don't understand why you would volunteer to work for people who think of you as less than an animal, but it's a strategy. You know, Donald Robertson has it. That guy Niaz123 does the same thing. They think they'll debut, you know, their bootlicking abilities and they'll be rewarded. But I got 3 words of advice for you. Get it in writing, you know, because you're going to be licking a lot of boots before you actually get paid for anything. Tonight's T-shirt, one of my favorites, my Charlottesville T-shirt. Training to throw communists out of helicopters. Absolutely one of the all-time best T-shirts there are. So so there's that. So Donald Robertson banned from this channel, and I think I banned him from my other channel. I don't know if that means he can't report me anymore, or I don't know how that works. Or maybe they can just I think YouTube, anyone can just mass report you, whether they're subscribers or not, whether they're in the chat or not. So I don't know. But I've been, I think, far too kind to people who are essentially adult children. You know what I mean? They have a serious case of arrested development, and I've been too kind towards them, too lenient, and that's going to end because you know, if somebody wants to come on and say, listen, I want to debate you, or I want to, you know, I want some kind of blood sports thing, you know, I want to argue with you, and they're going to do it in good faith. I don't care, man. I'd be more than happy to host anybody. You know, I've debated with other people, like more serious people, guys like, what's his name? Oh, for Christ's sake, Norman Hobbs. No, you know, and that was very civil. You know what I mean? I'm always civil until you act like a jerk off, and then I treat you like a jerk off. And then you think you'll talk faster than me, which you probably can't do. Or you can make more sense than me when talking fast and loud, which you probably can't do. And then I end up leaving you as a greasy red smear on the internet sidewalk, and then you're unhappy. So, but if you'd have just played it straight from the jump, none of that would have happened. But this is the internet, and the internet is full of very, very, very special snowflakes. What can you do about it? Not much you can do. But I'm going to be far less tolerant in the future with people who don't have anything to contribute other than negativity. You know what I mean? And I don't think really Donald Robertson had much to contribute. I mean, he made himself like the laughing stock of the chat, of a lot of chats, and that's just who he is. Anyway, so let's talk about current events, because current events are always what holds people's attention in the moment, of course. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, if the stream is still up, it's going to sound dopey and dated, but people are going to go, well, I knew that. But every time, everything I see in social media, particularly Twitter, as far as the political election, which is 40 days out or something like that, this is going to be a blowout of blowouts. The left is trying to set up a legal challenge. They're trying to do, like they're threatening all kinds of things. And the more they threaten, and they're threatening quite a bit, the more they threaten, the weaker they truly are. Like, this is always, people who tend to talk big have very little to back it up. You know what I mean? That's true. That's true in the hood. It's true on the street as well. Some other people, I was talking about Jonathan Poll's channel the other night, have noticed that Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is running for the White House. He is absolutely, if he stays on track, he's going to be the Republican front runner. He will blow past Mike Pence like a fucking racehorse runs past a fucking donkey. But that's too far in the future. Currently, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to upgrade. I need to upgrade my phone. I didn't really need to upgrade my phone, but my banking app, which I rely on because I'm constantly on the move and I don't have time to go to the bank, my banking app will not work on my phone, which is this phone, which is a Samsung 4. So I bought this phone, which is a Samsung 10, off of eBay. And I thought I could just switch the chip out, like take the chip from that one and put it in this one, and it would work. But that's not how shit works. So I got to go to the store and I got to do something. Fucking annoys me. The Samsung 10 is still 10 models behind. The current Samsung is the Samsung 20, but I don't want to pay a whole lot of money for a fucking phone because they're of limited use anyway. One of the uses they do have, however, is as a cold storage device for Bitcoin, which we got to talk about Bitcoin. The other thing about this, the name of this stream, I call this Child's Zen because I don't want to deal with children anymore. I don't want to talk about fantasy things. And if you want to talk about the Lord of the Rings or fucking, I don't know, whatever other things you talk about, unironically, I don't think you need to be here, and I don't think I need to speak to you. If you're not strongly connected to observable reality, you don't need to be here, and you're not going to enjoy being here. So go somewhere else. So what that means is I don't want to hear about like your crap political ideas, because what's going to happen, and I put a link in to the latest Wolf Street report, which is the best financial YouTube channel, I think, by far. It's the videos. It's a relatively short video. It's like 10 or 11-minute video. Whereas the guy from the Wall Street report, who has a pretty good sense of humor, will lay out what's going to happen economically, and whether you like it or not, money rules the world. And to understand what's coming economically is really to be prepared. And if you're unprepared, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you, right? I mean, like the reason why I failed out of school, I flopped out of school most of the time was because I showed up unprepared. I didn't do my homework or whatever. Like, unprepared. Did I pass the test? Did I read the fucking chapter? Yeah, I did all that. Could I go up to the board and do the fucking math problem? Yeah, except I didn't have last night's homework, so I was unprepared. And that was a big reason for me failing. So that's in an academic sense. In a real world sense, what's coming down the pike, if you're unprepared for what's coming, it's going to be far worse than a disapproving look from a teacher. Like, I'm sad. You haven't reached your full potential. It's going to be a lot fucking worse than that. It's going to be a lot fucking worse than that. What am I talking about? I mentioned it on my previous channel. I've mentioned it a number of times. The digital dollar. The digital dollar is coming. Once again, it's coming. This idea that you don't even fucking have a clear understanding of is going to happen. The Federal Reserve is going to have an individual accounts for every American, and they're looking to send, and as crazy as this sounds, 14,000 US dollars. That's if they did it. Like the last stimulus that they sent to Wall Street, which was 3 trillion with a T, $3 trillion, which pumped up asset prices, stock prices, gold prices, silver prices to a lesser degree, but mostly stock prices and bond prices. That $3 trillion rescued, not only did it keep the market from tanking, but it drove it higher. If they do a similar thing in direct monies to U.S. citizens, that would mean about $14,000 per citizen, regardless of your income. So the rich people will take that 14 grand and do something else with it. They don't need to spend it. But poor people will spend it immediately, and that's what the Fed wants, because the velocity of money is falling through the floor. People say, what does the velocity of money mean? Money needs to circulate quickly in the economy to go from what you earn to what you buy to paying taxes to the government spending, to stimulus, to making people manufacture more because the government demands it so they can fulfill the government contract. And then that makes more paychecks so that people go out and buy more consumer goods, and round and round and round it goes. The velocity of money is falling down desperately fast, and they need to get it up there. Why? Because if they don't, the economy is going to go into depression, and they don't want that. So they need to create inflation. How are they going to create inflation? They are very, very seriously. And again, look at the Wall Street report. Hey, Eki, how's it going, bro? Oh, dude, you're transracial. Outstanding, man. Congrats on the trend on the on the transformation. God bless. Buddha bless, my brother. But the economy needs inflation. That's what the Fed believes, and they're going to create it one way or another. And the way they're going to do that is by doing the digital dollar, and they're just going to inject money directly into your account whenever the economy slows down. This is going to be if you think today's clown world is this is the cartoon before the fucking movie. Clown world hasn't even begun yet. This is the foothills before the fucking mountain peaks that we have to climb with clown world. When the Federal Reserve can directly inject money to you, whether you have a bank account or you don't have a bank account, to stimulate spending, to increase the velocity of money so that the economy doesn't fall into depression, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And you're going to need to, whatever wealth you've accumulated at this point, you're going to need to protect. There's a limited number of things you can do. I think you should buy Bitcoin because I'm a Bitcoin guy. But you can buy gold or silver, and then the next 5 or 7 years, gold or silver is going to do really well. But that's a long-term play. The other thing you can do is buy commercial real estate in any of the 6 counties or 7 counties immediately around Washington, D.C. If you can't afford to buy commercial real estate, but you have a lot of money and you can park it for like 5 or 6 years, I'm talking about like $500,000. I think it's $250,000 to $500,000 buy-in for a real estate investment trust that invests in commercial properties outside of Washington, D.C. You're going to have to do your due diligence to find out where the properties are. That's where I would store my money. If you have less money than that, if all you have is some folded up grain bills, you need to trade those fucking things for Bitcoin as fast as you fucking can. Like as fast as you can, like with a quickness. Because once the Federal Reserve just starts printing money out of the thin air and shooting it to people's cell phones, which is what they're planning to do. And again, Wall Street Report, the link down below, they are planning this. This is going to do things to the economy and human behavior of low IQ people who are popping Xanax or smoking weed, that is going to make the craziest thing you saw today looks like the greatest comfort. So that's coming. It's in the next. They're talking about by 2023, another 2 years, 2.5 years. You need to You need, I don't know, buy gold bars or buy silver or and the actual physical thing that you can hold, not some paper promise that somewhere in a vault is your precious metals. You're going to actually have the shit yourself, and they'll mail it to your house. They can insure it. And they can mail it to your house. They can mail you silver and gold and stuff. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? You need to look into that because your U.S. greenbacks are about to become worthless faster than you know, and this is by design because they need inflation, because without inflation there'll be depression, and then all the assets that have been pumped up over the last 10 or 15 years will collapse, and rich people will actually lose money, and they can't have that. So their solution, and again, the Wall Street Report, the guy from Wall Street Report goes into it much more clearly than and in more detailed fashion than I am. But you need to listen to that video. You need to pay attention because this is going to affect. You may not be interested in the economy, but the economy is interested in you. So pay close attention. Speaking of which, I may be moving soon. I'm considering moving. I got to look into this in the next couple of days and weeks because once again, I got a letter from my landlord that my rent is going to be increased. And the rent increases for the last 3 years have been 5%, which is the maximum that the city allows. And it doesn't look like that's going to end anytime soon. And I'm thinking I want to be preemptive here. I want to maybe make a change and get it somewhere where my living expenses are more fixed, so I don't get hurt. I'm not really in danger right now, but I would rather be preemptive and proactive, and fix things before they need to be fixed. So that may be happening. I will let you know. Blah 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 blah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, let's. Since Eki's here, Eki's leave the city. I'm in a city that's like 90,000 people. It's not a real city. It's not like a city. In Eki, for me, a real city is New York City. It's 8 million people. You know what I mean? Or Chicago or Philly or something like 3 million, 1.5 million or something like that. You know. If you haven't cracked the 7 digits, in my opinion, you're not a proper city. It's technically it's legally I live in a city, but it's not a city. I don't know, the tallest building is probably 6 stories. You know what I mean? It's like Dublin, Ireland or something. But whatever. So let's talk about what's the name? I saw Eki talking to Bob Paxton. Bob Paxton was talking about this is, by the way, this is not a real pistol. This is my fake laser Glock, the Glock 18, which they haven't made yet. Training thing. Bob Paxton was talking about that whenever he shoots Glocks, he shoots left. And the problem is how you grip the pistol. It's not anything else. It's not the sights. So if the pistol sits in your hand the wrong way, it can sit left, it can sit right. I'm exaggerating with what I'm doing, but those videos I put up a while from the class I took, if you look at when I actually shot the actual drill, the Middle Eastern drill, the Yemen drill, you count the cadence of the shot. It's pop, 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 pop. I was, as fast as I could make my little finger go, I was pulling the trigger, and I shot very straight, 5 out of 6, in a 3-inch circle from 3 yards away in under 5 seconds. So, including the draw, right? So, where exactly my finger was it here? Was it there? Was it more finger, less finger? Was it this? That's all bullshit. That's all bull. That's if the argument is that this one finger, right? This finger here can overpower all the muscular strength of these fingers, this thumb, these other fingers, and this thumb. There's no way that one finger can beat 9 fingers, okay? If the gun's sitting in your hand cocked the wrong way, right? If it's not directly lined up with the bones of your arm, which lines up to your shoulder, you're going to shoot a little bit left. If you're shooting a little bit left, when you're shooting paper targets. Should you ever have to shoot for real, like to save your own life, you're going to be in trouble. You need to shoot dead bang straight all the time, and that is Jonathan Pohl. Welcome to the show. Oh, we got 3 viewers now. You have to shoot dead bang straight, and part of that is the index. How this tool fits in your hand. It has to be straight. And if you're not shooting straight on a regular basis against paper, when you have to fucking draw fast, and your eyes pop open and the adrenaline dumps, and you have to shoot like this, you're not going to shoot straight. And a gunfight, as I have been told recently by someone who's been in a number of gunfights, a gunfight is all the bullets right now. There's no sparing. There's no 15% now, 36% later. It's all the bullets right now. And if all the bullets right now go where they're supposed to, you win. If they don't go where they're supposed to, well, you got some problems. Yes, Jonathan Pohl. Eki is now transracial. He has joined Rachel Dozil and Talcum X, Sean White. He has transitioned from Caucasian to Wakandan, and this is a very exciting development. And he announced it here on my channel, which I got to be honest, to be honest, I'm really honored, by the way. Ash all day, welcome to the show, hon. I hope everything is going well. You're 8 months gone, not much longer, and then we'll have a new little Ash. Some little will be in this world. So that's good news. Jonathan Pohl. Oh yeah, talking about wow. Jonathan Pohl putting Eki Lux and CV Vitolio or whatever that thing is, in the same category. I'm not sure, because I think you may have this wrong, Pohl. I think because changing your race is easier. It's significantly easier than changing your gender. There's no scalpels involved. You don't have to change the hormones. It's just, pre-tanning booth, post-tanning booth, that kind of thing. The difference is saying you all and y'all, bathroom and bathroom. The differences are subtle, but it's a much easier transition to go from Caucasian to Wakandan than to go from boy to furry purple unicorn. You know what I mean? That's it's an easier transition. So I mean, not to make light of Eki's journey. I don't mean to make light of this or to be treated in a comic or lighthearted fashion at all. But yeah, it's easier to be transracial than it is to be transgender. But it's you have to have a sense of humor. Everybody saw the Twitter thing I did. I was posting the coffee and baklava that I had, and I'm in this place in Astoria, which is like the best place for these coffees. There's a coffee that's called, it's like a popular thing over in Athens, Freddo cappuccino, which is it's a double espresso on ice with 4 inches of foamy milk on top. And the place that I go to, it's actually called the Coffee Pot. The woman that runs it is she's an 8. She would be a 9 if she was taller, but she's only 5'4". And the place is it's a neighborhood hangout, and there's all these Greek dudes smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee outside the place and blabbering on and fucking Greek and shit. But everybody goes there. There's a fucking line out onto the sidewalk. And I was in there, and there was it was a little cop. It was a Spanish cop named Garcia. So he's 5'6"-ish. I saw the police car in the corner, right in the corner, where his partner's out. His partner's got the same big coffee that I showed in the photo, but his partner's like weightlifter Spanish cop. So he's got his fucking blouse, his NYPD blouse with the fucking thing. It's bulging and shit, and he's drinking his whatever mocha or whatever fucking coffee. And then the little guy's in there. He's getting a big fucking coffee order, So he's ordering them all, and he's taking out his wallet and he's paying for shit. And I saw he had a body camera, he had a body cam on. And then his phone goes off. He looks at it and he says, "Oh, I need one more." He says, "But You got to put soy milk in it. And the Greek woman that runs the coffee shop, she's like, wow, what? He goes, soy, like a soy milk. And she's like, soy milk? What the fuck? And I'm sitting there and I'm laughing like this guy, like, I'm like, bro, you don't even know. She doesn't even know what soy milk is. Like, and she says something to the Spanish guys and they must have had it in the back, whatever. She's like, yeah, I'll make it for you. You know? So I looked at him and I said, bro, I said, tell me that's for some girl back at the precinct. That's a girl cop drink. That's not like for one of your buddies, man. That's because that shit was caught on body cam. And he like froze up, like the words caught on body cam. He like, because they're all hypersensitive about this. He like freezes up and then he realizes I'm joking. So he starts laughing and the people behind me that were standing in line, they were also fucking laughing and stuff. And they're like, it was a weird, because obviously anytime you see police now with all the stuff that's going on, there's a little elevated tension, So I managed to make some stupid remark that broke the tension and stuff. And a little 5'6" Officer Garcia, who I wish the best for, because he luckily he's partnered with a big fucking strapping dude that'll keep his ass fucking safe. But I would not count on this guy being able to physically handle a lot of things, But anyway, so that was that. I had fun over there. Also, yeah, the thing is, here's the thing: the reason why you go to Astoria, this, when I buy it in Jersey, is like fucking $18. When I buy it in Astoria, is $10.99. So there you go. That's the reason to cross the bridge. No, Ash, we are not all black. I wish we could all be black. If we could all be black, we will all be black once the Federal Reserve starts just randomly shooting $14,000 per citizen out to fucking cell phones and bank accounts and shit. And you start and the type of inflation that's coming when they do this is going to be insane. Yeah, buy 90 acres. Listen, whatever you can do, that you can buy anything that is not dollars. Okay, so that's stocks are iffy, but gold, silver, Bitcoin, commercial real estate that is deleveraged, that's not in debt, is going to become way more valuable as every time some indicator that the White House, or particularly the White House, because they're much more sensitive to elections, or Congress, when that indicator starts going towards recession, the Fed is just going to shoot more money out into randomly shoot fucking thousands of dollars out into the fucking American economy to stimulate the growth, demand. So, demand side growth, right? From consumer growth. So Walmart's going to go through the roof and Amazon's going to go through, you think Amazon stock is expensive now? It's going to be like 4 times as expensive in 5 years from now, because you wake up in the morning, you look at your phone, holy shit, I got 10 grand. I'm going to go buy a bunch of shit on fucking Amazon. This is going to end badly. It's not going to go good. It's not going to be good. And again, the Wall Street Report, which I linked to down below, you need to subscribe to that guy's channel, and he usually uploads on Sundays. I think he missed this Sunday, but you want to know what's going to happen in the economy. This guy will red pill you on a lot of things, and that's going to affect you whether you think so or not. If you're concerned about random violence in the streets, think about somebody who's in a bad mood because they lost their job, then they just got 10 grand, and marijuana and psilocybin mushrooms are fucking legal where he lives. Guess what he's going to do with that fucking 10 grand? How many fucking hands full of fucking mushrooms is he going to take and go walking around the shopping mall while you're out there with your kids, And if his path and your path cross at the same time, it could get things could get very, very, very spicy. Ash all day. Bitcoin is only as good as long as we have the internet. Not quite. They have sent Bitcoin via shortwave radio. Bitcoin people are much smarter than political people. They have gamed shit. They've gamed this shit out. You can Google Bitcoin sent by shortwave. They've actually thought, what if they shut off the internet? Could they stop Bitcoin? And the answer is no, because we figured out a way to transmit Bitcoin without using the internet, like using ham radio. You think the people you know are psychos? You haven't. You need to be Bitcoin people. Ash all day only has 0.67 acres. That's it. That's not that much. That's a little more than half an acre. Yeah, Eki can't live around black people. I live around black people now. You know what I mean? The next apartment over is Africans, like real Africans. And every now and then they make like boiled cane rat and garlic or something like that. I don't know. They cook with so much garlic, it's fucking insane. Although what I did is I went out and I bought some lamb shoulder chops. That's what I did tonight. Because I got my car inspected finally, so I'm all completely legit, which is an issue with all this stuff going on. Because in New Jersey, you have to go to the state. You can't go to a private person. You have to go to the state. So anyway, I bought some lamb, and I chopped it up into like 1-inch cubes, and I soaked it in some red wine, the Hungarian red wine, that bull's blood, and some garlic and some rosemary and a little olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then basically, I did this indoors, and you're probably not supposed to do it, but I skewered it and I grilled it over my stove because I can't barbecue. And when I go outside this room, it fucking smells awesome. It smells fucking great. It smells like fucking barbecue. But and I had that over rice, and then I finished that bottle of red wine, and now I'm having a drink. Yeah, no, I know we're all pretending to be black because, and you know, when I said this on my other channel, the former slave class of the United States is now going to be there are moral and cultural superiors, which is ridiculous. It's not like when the Greeks took over fucking Rome back in the day, because those two peoples were similar enough so that they mixed well together. Africans, even an African European admixture, you know, at 85-15 doesn't mix well with whatever the white. I mean, most white people, as Steve Saylor points out, are like 65% more white than black people are African. So yeah, we got a massive problem. But everyone is, you know, you hear it nonstop in all kinds of language and the way people express themselves. I catch myself doing it, you know, all the time. It's the zeitgeist, and you're going to absorb it, and that's that. And it doesn't lead towards anything better. It leads towards the ghetto. And with the economic stuff that's happening, it's further leading towards the ghetto. You know what I mean? Black people will shoot each other and kill each other over hair weaves. You know what I mean? That's common. And I don't mean they'll do multiple murders for hair weaves or fucking nail tips. Like it's not a racist trope to say that they will shoot each other over the last piece of fried chicken. That's not a joke. They will do that all the time. They shoot each other at cookouts all the time. You know what I mean? There's black dudes I work with, this guy Tony from the Bronx, you know, and he said he said he didn't socialize anymore. He says because he goes to cookouts and people start shooting each other over at the end of the fucking cookout, you know, or barbecue. Like, this is, you know, what are you fucking shooting each other over? Potato salad? Are you fucking psychotic? The answer is, yeah, they are, you know. So, but they can get away with it. They can behave in a way that no one else can behave. And what's the difference? You go from the projects to prison. It's the same thing. It's public housing. Somebody else pays for everything. You know what I mean? You don't lose anything because you didn't have anything to begin with. Ash all day. What about this ghost DNA I keep hearing about? Something about 18% of black DNA from unknown sources. I have no idea what that is. That doesn't make any sense. Most blacks in America are an African European hybrid. It's not what that is exactly. I don't know. But DNA, the science of DNA, which used to be a real science. I remember back in the day, like in 95-ish, 1995 was a really harsh winter here in the Northeast. I don't know what it was like in the rest of the country, but I used to drive old taxis overnight, and I would listen to talk radio all the time. I was a huge talk radio guy, and DNA was just starting to be a thing back then, and it was only used for like high-profile murder cases. It wasn't even all murder cases. And people said, well, maybe someday we'll use DNA for other things. Now they use DNA for everything, but DNA has become as politicized as anything else. There's a lot of people that have sent samples into 23andMe and whatever, Ancestry.com, that they sent like their dog's DNA, and they get back a DNA profile that says the dog is like 5% Jewish or 2% black. You know what I mean? Like they send in 2 samples from themselves with 2 different names in the same address, and they get 2 different results. So they make stuff up. There's certain things they can tell, there's things they can't tell. So I wouldn't that black people believe insane fucking shit. You have no fucking idea, like no idea. Their thought process is insane. It's fucking insane, and it always has been. I remember this dude, this guy I used to drive around. I can't remember what the fuck his name was. He's like late 20s black guy, medium complexion, like tall, like kind of athletic, not super athletic, but kind of athletic. Anyway, the woman he was involved with was, and this is a New Jersey couple. She was working. She had got a job with the MTA in New York, which is a lot of people that live in New Jersey work for New York City, but because the pay is better in New York, but it's cheaper to live in Jersey, right? So she's training to be a bus driver. Dude's out with his bro, and they're doing whatever the fuck the black guys do. And whatever type of car this woman had, I think she had a Ford SUV, like a big Ford SUV, like a Bronco, whatever. And the bro sees a Ford SUV go like around the corner in fucking Newark, like down the road. Like, hey, and he goes, yo, that's your girl, man. That's your girl's car. And this guy just catches like a glimpse of the car, and it's whatever, the green fucking Bronco. And he's like, oh shit, that looks like my girlfriend's car. So the bro says, yo, man, I thought your girl was like working and shit. What's she doing out there in the street? So this guy calls his girlfriend, and what's she doing? She's in the MTA New York City bus bus driver course that they have in the Bronx. It's like a big, gigantic parking lot where that simulates New York City streets. And she's in the bus with her trainer, with her whatever, whoever trains them, and she's doing her fucking bus driver exercises. How to make this turn, how to do that, within New York City, which is a big pain in the fucking ass. And so he calls her, and he says, "Where are you?" She says, "I'm working. I'm in the Bronx. I'm in the bus." And he's like, "No, I just saw you in Newark." And she says, "What are you talking about? I'm in the fucking bus." And he doesn't believe it. And she says, "Here, talk to my supervisor." And she hands the phone to her supervisor. And the guy says hello, whatever, and she takes the phone back. And this guy refuses to believe that she's driving the bus doing her fucking bus training. Like, he's like, no. You were out, you were cheating on me, and I just happened to see your fucking truck 3 blocks away in Newark. Now, how fucking insane is that? That's pretty fucking insane, right? But absolutely, this guy fucking believed it. And his buddy fucking supported that. Now, did his bro, like, was it like some kind of bro jealousy thing? Like, I don't want you to get married and be happy, so I'm going to ruin your relationship? I don't fucking know. But this guy's logic skills were so fucking weak that some jerk off talking in his ear, he calls it, like, modern technology, he can call his girlfriend like this. She hands the phone to her fucking supervisor, like, what more do you need to do? But these people live in a fucking insane world. Add to that $14,000 of free fucking money whenever the economy slows down, and legalized fucking magic mushrooms, and you're going to have the 2020s, the end of the 2020s is going to be fucking insane. What you're seeing now, all the stuff you're seeing on social media, this is the warm up. The real party hasn't even started, hasn't even come close to starting. Paint a decent painting. Hey, I don't know who you are, but yes, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. I'm not sure who you are or how you got here, but welcome to the show. Don't rat me out to YouTube and get me a channel strike because I will ban you. I will bring the ban hammer down on you and without mercy. Ash all day. Lots of American blacks have some white admixture. Yeah, mostly. You know what I mean? They're like it's like 85-15. But and for amongst blacks, and I'm around them a lot, skin color is a huge deal. What shade they are they black, are they medium skinned, are they light skinned? This is like the biggest deal to them. You know, it's super important to them, and they talk about it nonstop. Judas Fly Chai. Yeah, it's brutal. I need to change. I need to keep going to synagogue. Yeah, well, listen, Judas, you're asking me for this kooky Greek music, and then you DM me saying it's evil pagan music. Like, listen, you either want to hear it or you don't want to hear it, bro. You gotta decide. You know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. You can't just listen, Judas Fletcher. Why don't you put a string around your head, right? Which this spread that put a magic string around your head to make God think you're unconscious when you're really conscious. You know what I mean? This way you can do stuff, that God does, like God can't see because he thinks you're asleep. That's my suggestion for you. Because there's magic wires around Manhattan, Atlanta, Austin, a few other cities that the Jews use to trick God into not seeing them when they're running around with their baby carriages and their books and shit. Yes, being light-skinned is a big deal. It matters a lot. It matters absolutely a tremendous amount. You know what I mean? And they always notice it. You know what I mean? But I'm not like, don't get me wrong. I'm a little bit down with black people, but I'm not like super down with black people. It's just that the ones I'm around know that we have to them around for a while. Like they know that one, I'm a fucking lunatic, and two, but the most important thing is I'm not a snitch because they have to keep their jobs, and when no one's around, when they look around and nobody's around, and they just relax and they start talking amongst themselves, then they talk like they normally talk, right? It's a lot of N-bombs, a lot of all kinds of other shit. But they've lost their jobs because somebody said, at least where I work, you got a bunch of different nationalities moving in and out. And they will go to management and say, this employee said the N-word, this employee said this employee said that, and people lose their jobs. So they're conscious of who's a snitch and who's not a snitch. So even though not everyone necessarily likes me or thinks I'm clever or funny, enough of them know that I'm not a snitch, that they're, they'll look around and go, this happened, Ed. And they're like, oh, they'll look and they'll see me and go, it's James Thorne. So, I mean, that doesn't mean really I'm like a token black person. I'm not really a token black person, but they know I'm not a snitch, so they can be more relaxed around me. And that some of them have occasionally put me wise to certain things that they say that I, like, what does that mean? Like, they're using English words, but I don't know what it means. Like, you know what I mean? So, and it's like somebody told me like turned up. You know what I mean? Like, what does turned up mean? And because I heard somebody was saying, blah, 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 he must have been turned up. And they saw my eyes do one of these, and they went, and somebody said it means drunk or it means high. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm that much less of a dumb white guy. But they wouldn't have told me that if they didn't think, like, yeah, he's okay, he's a reasonably cool dude. So, yeah, but the lighter skin they are, it's a big deal. That's a big deal to them. And they describe themselves that way. Oh, so-and-so? Oh, which one is he? Was he the light-skinned one? No, he's not really light-skinned. He's like, and then they go on and do their color gradations. But, and that's, they notice that all the time. Yeah, Judas Flychai, you definitely got to get one of those magic string hats and put it around your head so God thinks you're asleep and he won't like look into your thoughts, and then you can go do other stuff, and you can trick him. Wait a minute. I thought Judas Fly Chai was the same as Fly Angry Persian Michelin guy. Holy crap. Are you both people at the same time? I'm lost here. Oh, now I'm completely confused. Completely confused. Jonathan Pohl, high yellow is lighter than red bone. That is true. When I was a kid, though, they used to say they had Indian blood. If they had straight noses, if black people had like straight noses or more sharply defined noses, they would say, "Oh, he's got Indian blood." It was never white people blood. It was always Indian blood. So that was, and that's why, like, in and around, they have this occasionally, like once a year. I think they're gonna have it soon. They have like a powwow, like an American Indian powwow thing that they do, fucking somewhere out on the end of Long Island, and it's like it shows somebody in like the full chief fucking, like the F troop fucking feather headdress, but it's always like a black woman or a black dude. It doesn't look like an Indian. It doesn't look like the guy who's crying on the horse in the 1970s film, like 1970s commercial, Keep America Beautiful. Doesn't look like him. It looks like, whatever, the Wakanda guy with a fucking headdress on. Pretty funny. Judas Fly Chai, I am eating cheese pizza out of the freezer and drinking tangerine juice from Trader Joe's. I would heat the pizza up first if I were you, Judas Fly Chai. That's generally what you might be missing. You might be skipping a step. You take it out. Generally, you take it out of the freezer, out of the packaging, put it on some kind of a piece of aluminum or whatever. Light the oven, stick it in there for 45 minutes or so. Then take it out and then have it with your pizza. Jonathan Pohl, pizza must have pork. Pizza with ham and pineapples. There was a thing on Twitter with what goes on pizza, and like Bob Paxson, who it's supposed to be a guinea who lives by the ocean in Atlantic City, talking about you could have avocado on fucking pizza. If that isn't the most millennially gay thing I've ever fucking heard, I don't know what I've heard. Pizza can have pork as long as that pork is sausages or pepperoni. Yeah, okay. But like ham and pineapple, now you're in fucking Waikiki. You're in some fucking far out place where, like you're probably so drunk anyway on those fucking coconut drinks. You don't even know what you're eating anyway. But it isn't proper pizza. It's not, you can't get just still random bits of a pig on there. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm the biggest pro pork fucking guy there is, but ham and pineapple, no, I refuse. I have to draw the line somewhere, But Judas Fly Chai, yeah, try turning on the oven first, and then and heating the pizza first. Yeah, pepperoni is good. What's difficult to find is sausage pizza anymore, because it's considered like unhealthy or something like that. Fucking retarded homos. It's not health food to begin with. So stop thinking that. Daughter of Babylon 14. Tiger King and King of the Hill are my favorite shows. I've seen King of the Hill a little bit. Tiger King, I think, is some gay guy on methamphetamines who owns tigers or something like that. He's like some kind of Liberace with claws dude. I don't own a television, so I don't know. Like a lot of pop culture stuff, I get third, fourth, fifth hand. I don't know what it is. So probably best you don't watch television. That's probably the best thing you can do is avoid watching television, because the people who do the programming do not have your best interest at heart, and you're only going to know what your head's going to be filled with what they want it to be filled with. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, people say all these like these political fucking pundits like the conservatives, the conservatives, like trust in the media is at an all-time low. Well, you may trust them or you may not trust them. It doesn't matter. They influence you because you watch them for hours and hours and hours. And they tell you that if there's a guy, a Spanish guy, years ago when the Russiagate was big. He was like, "Yeah, man, they're gonna get your guy Trump, the Russia thing." He hasn't said Russia in 2 years, or since the last time the Russiagate thing was mentioned, right? Since that whole thing collapsed, he doesn't even know Russia exists anymore. Why? Because the TV doesn't tell him it exists. You know what I mean? And now he doesn't think anything. Like he doesn't know what to think. Like he doesn't love Trump, and he's never gonna. But and I'm not saying he should. But he used to be like, yeah, they're gonna get Trump and they're gonna pull him out of office. I'm like, dude, you like stop watching TV. It's not gonna happen. But people know what's constantly pushed through your brain. That's what you're aware of. Tiger King is on Netflix. Netflix, the pedo network, right? So that's good. Pedophilia and meth smoking wild animal abusers. Yeah, what about? I guess I'm missing a lot by not having a television. Pedo movies and homosexual animal abusers. Yeah, I guess the last 10 years I spent without television, I've really suffered. I don't know what analytical chick is. I have no idea what that is. I once dated a South Korean girl, and because I met her at a party. She had a tattoo of the South Korean flag on her foot. She was with some dude who had a BMW. I was riding motorcycles at the time. And I asked her about Korean food, and she said, "How do you know I'm Korean?" And I said, "I noticed the tattoo on your foot." And within a week from there, BMW guy was gone. I was whatever. I was the man of the moment. But you need to pay attention. I am the king. Long live the king. Wow, Your Majesty. Welcome to my humble channel. I appreciate your gracing our presence with all of your monarchical majesty. Dominic Schmidt. I don't know who Dominic Schmidt is. I'm the king. Long live the king. I do not know who Dominic Schmidt is, but if you, I can't tell you. I can't tell you much about him. Not much at all. What did I ran out of? I ran out of fucking shit to talk about. How long have I been going? Like almost an hour. But anyway, yes, certain guys like anybody from that knew the old channel. Hopefully they'll subscribe to this channel because I'm shut down there for 3 months, and I believe it's because of Donald Robertson, whom I have banned. I believe I've banned. I'm not even sure if I know how to ban people. That's how much of a fucking boomer I am. Like I can't even ban people from my own YouTube channel. I think I've done it though. I think I've successfully banned him. And should I see him here, I will immediately bounce him. Because again, like I was saying earlier in the beginning of the stream, before all four of you were here, I don't mind people pushing back against what I say. I'm all for give and take. But if we're going to do like this free speech thing, and we're going to say stuff that's outside the norms, that's forbidden kind of thing. Whether you think it's funny or clever, it's too serious, or it's low IQ, or whatever you think. If you're a free speech person, you got to be a free speech person. If you don't like what you hear, you get to click on another stream. There's millions of other channels to the left and to the right of me, above and below. So if you don't want to do the free speech thing, if I'm boring to you or if I'm offensive to you, let's go somewhere else. There's no need to rat me out to YouTube and put channel strikes. You know what I mean? And I'm entirely certain that Donald Robertson did that because he is a simp for the Zionists. Multiracial white supremacy. Check my Twitter. All right, let's do that. Let's check Twitter. Let's see what we got on Twitter. I don't know what that almost sounds. Everything sounds vaguely threatening. What does that mean? Check your Twitter. You better check yourself. Eki Lux would say that because Eki Lux is now black. Eki, does your name change when are you like Eki Shabazz Lux or something like that. Is there? Because Michael King Jr. became Martin Luther King Jr. And I don't know what Malcolm X was named before he was Malcolm X, but yeah. By the way, I am the king. I don't think you have any idea how piss poor my fucking my whatchamacallit is, my internet is. But whatever. All right, I'm in the process of checking my Twitter, but it's going to be a while. It's not going to be quick. Everyone should have flag tattoos so we can identify their nationality, and on their feet, because we should all be foot fetishists, because foot fetish is trad, right, and porn is bad, something like that. We're going to have some kind of thing like that. But come on, I mean, you're at a, like you, this guy, this guy. I can't help where. Fuck. The problem with these stories is I have to like edit some. The guy who was hosting the party was like a Harley Davidson guy, and I was a sport bike guy. But anyway, he had me over there anyway, and he was blood related to local law enforcement. Let me say that. And so he got away with a lot of stuff, and like they would not. Like the police wouldn't come around. Not that anything was that out of control, but so it was a very interesting mix of people because you had some borderline outlaw biker people, and then you had there's a weird kind of a wannabe element there. And why I was there was because I knew this guy and whatever. He's like, oh, come by. And at the time, my lime green English sport bike was parked amongst all these Harleys. It was very weird. But me and what was the girl's name? I can't remember. She had a daughter who was 11, who was like half Vietnamese. It was like a whole mess. But the whole thing was a mess. It was a mess. All right. Let me look on Twitter again, see if I got it. I don't see any DMs. I don't see. Check my Twitter. What do we got? Oh wait, I have some kind of message. Oh, this is going to be exciting. The suspense is not only is it killing me, it's making people leave the channel. Any day now. Any day. What? Angry Persian Missling sent me a link, which is, what did you send me? Oh, for heaven's sake, hurry up. This is such a torture. All right, I don't know what that is. Never mind. Okay, Eki Tyrone Lux the Third. Eki Tyrone Lux the Third. Yo, motherfucker, who owns that Lincoln Continental? Why, it's Eki Tyrone Lux the Third. You know it. Word is born. Okay, BLM is Judith Sly-Chai. BLM is liable to the death penalty according to Orthodox Noahide law. These are the facts on the table. Okay, let me explain to you something about Noahide law. That's never going to happen. There will be no Noahides. The economy will collapse before that. You guys are going to fucking lose, and we will be free. There's going to be no Noahides. You're not going to be chopping off people's heads just because they say unpleasant things about Jews. Like, you know what I mean? Yids molest kids. I can say that, and no one's going to chop off my head. Trust me, if you're going to chop off my head, you better send some Chad motherfuckers, because there's no way I'm going to just meekly submit to them. There will be the Noahide thing is complete and utter fantasy. This is the biggest problem on the political, whatever's left of the political right, is so many of them are absolutely delusional, and that's why I kind of blew up on Paul's channel the other last night, a couple nights ago, because when I'm talking to people who are deeply delusional, right? And I've tried to be reasonable. I've tried to be ecumenical or whatever, and they what they are ultimately. They are spoiled children. They're not revolutionaries. They're no such thing. They don't understand how anything works or why anything happens. They just wave their hands around and go, "Oh, traditionalism, neo-reaction," whatever stupid shit. They're not problem solvers. They're not. They don't understand human incentive. They don't have to, and so they are the whatever the periphery of the periphery is. They are nowhere near what's happening. They're just people who scream based lunatic nonsense based on stuff they see on Twitter. Freedom when? Freedom when we adopt the Bitcoin standard. Okay. The thing about central banking, about centralized control of the economy, is that's it benefits the few at the expense of the many. And until that system changes, and it's in the process of changing, but until it changes, we're going to suffer some really, really negative things. Judith Fletcher, State of Israel, if you don't want Noahidism. Noahidism is coming to Israel, says Judith Fletcher, the Tiger King guy. Yeah, Noahidism can stay in Israel. Paint a decent painting. According to God Noahide law, we must destroy the churches in Israel. We have to plant it out somehow. We need to send Judas to Israel so we can meet Aaron Amihud, the Zionist. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. We could have, maybe we could do like a team thing. Like the beer pong thing that they were doing, where they had the Nazis versus the Zionists. They had the red cups. What was it? The red cups was the swastika, and the blue cups was the Star of David, and they would play beer pong. Like Nazis versus the Jews beer pong. Maybe we could do that like some kind of live stream thing. We could have Judith Fleischai, Ariami Hood, Claire Carr, all the pro-Zionist people on one team, and then we could have another team which would be anti-Zionist. Which I don't know what the tryouts are, but I totally want to try out for that team. Hopefully, I would make the cut, and then we could do some kind of, we could do like a proper, instead of blood sports are just like one against one. It could be like team blood sports. This has potential for entertainment that I think, quite frankly, the mono e mono blood sports template could not achieve. So we should seriously look into this kind of multiplayer blood sports, Zionist versus anti-Zionist, or what, I don't know what you'd call it. A to Z. Right, anti-Zionist to Zionist. We got to find some way to monetize this. We put Jonathan Pohl in charge. That gives him a job. He can bring his family over from Kyrgyzstan, and then all will be well. Judas Fleischai, I have to go to Israel to plot how we will legally destroy all the churches in Israel. Hey, listen, you're already doing it, man. There were the Greek Orthodox Church tried to lease some land to some Palestinians, and they made the deal, and some Jewish settlers came in. The settlers kicked the Palestinians off the land, off the property, and there was, of course, a legal dispute. And the Greek Orthodox Church went to fucking Tel Aviv and said, "Hey, we got a contract with these guys to lease the land for whatever fucking reason," and the church said, "Nope. We're giving that land to the fucking settlers." So they've legally stolen land that's not theirs from the Greek Orthodox Church. Already happening, bro. I'm sure you can accelerate it. By the way, that the cunt fucking Mike Pompeo went to fucking. He's in Greece right now because they're trying to squash the Turks. The Turks are going against the Jews, and this is not going to go well for them. But he went to go fucking some Rosh Hashanah thing in fucking Greece. It's like. Really? Because I'd love to see you go to like the fucking Feast of St. Demetrius in fucking Tel Aviv, which doesn't fucking exist, right? But the dumb fucking Greeks, they don't want to see that. Well, officially the government doesn't want to see that. I suspect a lot of the people, a lot of the citizenry does. Jonathan Pohl, it would be like Plants versus Zombies. What do you mean? What kind of plants versus zombies? Explain yourself, Dr. Paul. Plants. Do you mean like planted agents, or do you mean like house plants, or I don't know what kind of plants you're talking about? And that is a very cryptic, deeply cryptic message in the chat, which I am currently trying to puzzle out. But yeah, there will be no Noahide laws. You're so high in your own supply, it's not going to happen. You're going to fuck it up. You know why? Because ultimately you're fuck ups, right? You are at best, you are usurers and toll collectors. You have never built a fucking thing. You have never engineered. Jewish engineering is what's called Rube Goldberg, right? There was a thing like from the 50s. It's a big, complicated machine that's completely fucking useless. It's called a Rube Goldberg machine. It makes noises and lights flash and things fucking clank and bang and whatever, and it does nothing. You know, that's an actual term in New York. That's a fucking Rube Goldberg setup, meaning it's fucking all sound and fury that signifies nothing. You know, and that's what you are. You know, there's no change in it. Very popular video game, Jonathan Pohl says, plants like vines and flowers. Oh, so that's good. So that would be, I guess, good for like bringing the hippies. You know what I mean? For the all natural, like a Venus flytrap thing, I guess, for zombies, right? Venus flytrap plants versus the zombies. I don't know. I didn't even know there was a video game. A video game with plants in it? I'm so fucking out of this shit. I don't know. Apparently I missed out on quite a bit of really good stuff while I was like chasing girls and fucking drinking booze in Manhattan bars. I missed out on all the really good cultural stuff. But luckily, you guys can set me straight, which is good because if I go off the fucking rails, this channel could get shut down like others have in the past. So anyway, what did I think I fucking talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Where am I now? I'm at 1 hour 14. Let's see how much further we can go. What else was I going to do? I was trying to think of. Yeah, I don't know what else where else I can go. Other than maybe I'll move. If I move, that would be good. Because I wouldn't have to live here anymore. I wouldn't have to live around Africans. I'd be around a lot of Spanish people. I think there's a lot of Spanish people. And that might not be too bad. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be the end of the world. And unfortunately, I would be much closer to work. And eventually they would find out that I would be only like 5 miles from Teterboro Airport. Not going to be a fucking problem because they would expect me to be in places faster than I would want to go. But I'll fucking have to make some excuse. But yeah, things are, from my point of view, the stuff I see, somebody was telling me the other day, work-wise, there's some Spanish female, I think Colombian, I'm not 100% sure, who bought one of these little transit vans. She puts herself $20,000+ in debt to do a job, and she gets some job, I don't know where she's going to Boston or something. She gets a flat tire, keeps driving the car, loses control of the vehicle, flips over while she's got the job in the car. So I don't know what happened to this girl. I don't know who she is. She's a New York driver. But the company I work for, like I said, you're a contract driver. It's not like you're not driving a company vehicle. No one's covering your rent. No one's covering your fucking hospitalization. You have somebody who's desperate to make money and makes a series of bad choices. Like, I'll put myself $20,000 in debt to fucking on the promise that maybe you'll provide me enough work so that I can pay off the debt that I have and maintain my living expenses. Shit goes fucking wrong. and you end up in the hospital. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I hope my company gets fucking sued like fucking up to the gills, to stop this shit, because not a lot of people are like me. They don't understand machines. They don't understand, like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just desperate to try and make money. They're incentivized to make enough money to live indoors and fucking eat hot food, you know what I mean? And to wear clean clothes. And this, as all of this shit fucking grinds down even fucking further, as the cocksuckers at the fucking top make this worse and worse and worse and worse, you may think, well, I don't live life like you do, James. You're on the bottom of the economic ladder, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, true. Absolutely fucking true. But if you think that this fucking rising tide of shit will not get to your level, you are profoundly fucking mistaken. Okay? You'd have to be at a very fucking high level, and I don't know what the fuck you're doing on this channel if you were there anyway. So, and you think, well, who gives a fuck? Some Spanish chick ends up in the hospital, whatever. Medicaid will take care of it. Yeah, sure, absolutely. You know what I mean? More money will be sucked out of the fucking government to fucking to support this woman. And she's not terrible. Obviously, she's willing to do what I'm fucking willing to do. So good on her. But things went badly for her. And you say, oh, so what? It's one little fucking petty incident from your life. My point, the point I want to make is that everything is going to be structured like this. Everything is going to be, the incentives are going to be just barely enough for you to risk a lot in order to get that fucking reward. And the more things get balanced on this narrower and narrower fucking base, the worse it's going to be when it falls over. That's my point. And then what's going to happen, what I said earlier in the fucking stream an hour and 20 minutes ago, the Federal Reserve is going to say, no, we can't have the economy crash. And they're going to go, here's $5 trillion fucking dollars. And instantly you're going to pick up your new fucking smartphone and bing, you're going to have 20 grand. Now, a sandwich is going to cost $200 fucking dollars, but you'll have 20 fucking grand and you'll go out and you'll spend like fucking crazy. And what you call clown world, this is Mayberry. This is fucking Mayberry RFD. This isn't, you know what I mean? You're just walking like Andy Griffith and little fucking Ron Howard to the fucking to the fishing spot. You know what I mean? To throw your lines in there and fucking pull down your hat and fucking snooze. You don't have any idea how bad it's going to get. I can't even fucking imagine how bad it's going to get. But it's going to be super fucking bad. Super mind-blowingly bad. And again, the Wall Street Report, you have to subscribe to that channel. You have to listen to every fucking thing that guy uploads, because this is critical for your understanding of what's going to happen. Human incentives and the consequences of what happens when people pursue them is really what's important. And history is what people write about that shit afterwards. So, and if you want to keep yourself safe and sane, you better know what's happening before it happens. And I don't know, like, I don't want to look hysterical or shout at the top of my lungs, but really bad things are fucking coming. You know what I mean? And they're in the fucking thing you can do to stop them, and no one's going to stop them. You know what I mean? We are riding the fucking tiger, and where this shit ends up, I don't know. So all of your ideas, and all the fucking political ideas are all shit. They all suck fucking cock. You all fucking, like, they all completely suck. You cannot generate any fucking value for any fucking body. There's not one fucking, none of these political ideologies you people fucking talk about. You can't solve one fucking problem. You can't help one fucking person. Like, it's a complete fucking waste of time. Whatever is going to come out of the fucking, when this whole thing falls over, will be whatever can produce the greatest good for the largest number of people, because that's what's going to win. You know what I mean? And until then, you know, we're all just fucking turning oxygen into carbon dioxide. It's we're waste. You know, you should be more. You should be more ironical about this whole thing. Don't take it too serious, because nothing you say really matters. Nothing. Like in the great words of the first transgender and transracial homosexual English rock star, Freddie Prinze. Who's the guy? Freddie You got the singer from Queen. What was his name? Freddie Mac. Freddie May? What the fuck was his name? What the fuck was that guy's name? Freddie Mercury. Holy fucking shit. Christ, that took me forever to get. Look how old I'm getting. It's fucking total boomerism setting into my brain. Then the words of Freddie Mercury, nothing really matters. You're gonna get the forces that are gonna make changes are gonna make changes, and nobody can control them right now. This thing is out of control. And best thing you can do, smartest thing you can do, is do not put your faith in the U.S. dollar. It's going to collapse. Not tomorrow, not a year from now. It's maybe 5 or 10 years from now, but you need to, be as deleveraged as you can be. It means you need to get out of debt. Deleveraged. Don't buy anything you can't fucking afford. You think debt slavery, you think you're in debt slavery now? Wait till you won't be able to eat until you do X. Or wait till no one you love can fucking eat until you do X. That's a shitty fucking place to be, and tens of millions of people are going to be in that fucking position. And it's your best bet will be to have something that is not U.S. dollar, whether that's gold or that's silver, it's commercial real estate, or it's Bitcoin, or whatever the fuck. It better. I don't care what bottles of whiskey, something, art, Andy Warhol paintings. I don't know, but this thing's fucking going down. It's going down in flames, and it's not going to be good. You need to see this. Everything else you're concerned about is a nonsensical concern, right? It's all predicated on this. You need to pay attention, and if you get it wrong, you're going to pay a fucking real price. So that's what this channel is going to be about. I can't be bothered talking about fucking nonsensical fucking shit. There's the fascism versus communism. They're both bullshit. They'll both be squashed overnight by the people with fucking money. Literally, they're two illusions. You want to get involved in that? You want to think one's going to beat the other? You go watch sports ball. You'll have it has just as much application to real world. Judas Flight Chai, you are a wannabe Brooklynite. This stream is a slice of Brooklyn. It is indeed, because I was born and raised in Brooklyn. There used to be a New York City saying that said, "Manhattan makes and Brooklyn takes," meaning that all the big money was made in Manhattan and all the thieves lived in Brooklyn. But yeah, Manhattan makes and Brooklyn takes. Back in the day, Judas Fly Chai with his 13 sock accounts on my channel. Yeah, you need to listen. Stop being ideological. It's going to cost you more than you know. And you think, well, no, I'm way above you, James. Yeah, you probably are. Probably you are. Except the water's going to get to where you are, and then if you don't have any skills and you don't have any clear thinking, you're going to be well and truly fucked. Which I won't have a whole lot of sympathy for you because, whatever. I don't even know who you are half the time. This is the magic internet club of people I never met before. I think I spent the first 40 minutes of the stream talking to zero live viewers. So, we're living in a digital world. Don't react too much to what you see on the screen. It's not real. It's the internet. Stop having real world reactions to shit that's just on Twitter or some other social media. That's unwise. Don't let yourself get dragged into that. And it's only gonna get worse. And the people doing it, and it's being pushed by both the left and the right. They're gonna get more sophisticated at it as it goes on. So as time goes on, and you want to, you need to separate your real life from your digital life, and that's good. That's probably the biggest challenge. I don't have empathy. I did Judas Fletcher. That's not true. I do have empathy. Of course, I have fucking empathy for fucking human beings. How the fuck? Not for nothing. Judas Flychild, you're a Jew and you're telling me I don't have fucking empathy? Are you fucking crazy? This channel is multiracial white supremacy. That means brown people, very brown people, yellow people, everyone can be a white supremacist. You know what I mean? I'm opening the clubhouse of white supremacy to everyone except Jews. To everyone. You know what I mean? You don't have to be white to be a white supremacist anymore. You know what I mean? This is the enlightened, this is the enlightened 21st century white supremacy, where anyone, who of good character, who's over 21 and hasn't been convicted of a felony or spent time in a mental hospital. But if by the way, if you do want official membership in the Multiracial White Supremacy Club, let me know how long you've been working for the FBI or which mental institution you've been forcibly forced into, and I will send you out your membership card pronto. Judas Lachai, I watched the McSpencer group. Yeah, the McCIA group. Describe your empathy for me. I have no empathy for you, Judas Lachai. You have your own parents. If you feel unloved, go talk to your own parents. Looking for love and approbation from random strangers on the internet or on the street is, to say the least, unfucking wise. Unwise. But seriously, a lot of what's going to be driven, and it's going to get crazier and crazier, because everything. Listen, money runs the world, and the American economy runs the global economy. The velocity of money is stalling. It's falling down. It's not being spent enough. People aren't spending enough money. Consumer spending is down. They have to stimulate that. It is the belief of the government and the people in charge that they have to create inflation. They thought they could create inflation by giving money to rich people who would then spend it, and it would have a trickle down effect. That didn't work. Okay. I don't know how many trillions that cost, but that didn't work. The next thing they're going to do, and it's going to take a little while because this digital dollar thing is not quite ready yet. It's going to take a year or two, or maybe a little more. But they're going to give everyone an account at the Federal Reserve. They're just going to randomly shoot money into your fucking account, which you think, oh, that's great, free money from the sky. The negative effects of this are going to be fucking enormous and difficult to predict. Some things will be obvious to predict, like inflation, like insane inflation. But how that's going to affect human behavior in large groups, that's not known. And shit's going to get real fucking spicy, like real spicy. Yes, Judas Flychild, I am in fact correct. I worked very hard at being correct. Judas Flychild, I am in front of the land of the Orions. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we're here at the 90-minute mark plus. So thanks for everybody, all 3 or 4 of you, 5 people who showed up. And I will try. Let's say I don't know what's going to happen. I went to Virginia Sunday. I got the call at 5 o'clock, so I didn't get home till too late to stream. You know what I mean? I thought about streaming. I was like, you know what? Fucking, I'm gonna go to sleep. So anyway, I'll try to stream on Sunday or Monday on this channel, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to talk about and some funny stuff. And I guess I will let you guys out, and thank everyone for showing up. And I will see you guys next week.